Hi, everybody. We're Jess and Kristen. Welcome to Shituations, the poop podcast,
where we talk about all things poop related, from your crappiest stories to your most pressing questions.
So come listen, because we have something for every asshole.
Have you heard of the altitudes?
Because they want the time for the marathon. They're going to choose to shit their pants and keep going, and they don't care.
Or go commando. You're using the underwear to wipe, and then we just go without the underwear.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Shituations, the poop podcast. I'm really excited to introduce our guest today. For privacy's sake, she was willing to share this story, but under a pseudonym, so I'm going to introduce her as Moira. So Moira, if you would like to say hello.
Sure. Hello, Jess. Hello, Kristen. Hello to your awesome and growing audience. My name is Moira, and I'm really excited to be here. I'm a super big fan of your pilot episode, and can't wait to share my story and talk about some situations.
What's super cool is actually we are recording today's episode on the day that our first episode has been released to the public, so that's super cool. I think your episode is going to be a while, actually, until we get yours up, this one. But yeah, you and I have known each other for a few years now. And you told me this story once when we were both on a project together. And we've done a few different projects together work-wise. But I knew that this story was going to be hysterical. Or I knew that it is. And Kristen has yet to hear it. So, Kristen, have I given you any context about this story?
No, I think you just told me, actually we were just talking a minute ago about how you two met, and I live in Hawaii, so it was about a project that you had kind of done, and when you heard it from her, and you were in Hawaii at the time, so I remember you coming back and hanging out at my house and telling me that you had a great story for the podcast, but you really didn't tell me anything about it. I think I might have stopped you too, because I was like, no, I want to have a genuine first time reaction to this story, especially because you were so excited about it. So,
oh my gosh, the pressure's on.
No, it's going to be good. I'm excited.
It's okay. You don't need to enact a reaction if it's just meh.
Oh, believe me, it will be genuine. I think she'll have a very similar reaction to the one I had when you first told me. I honestly think my reaction might be genuine again, because it's been so long since I've heard it from you. I have shared this story a few times with other people unrelated to the podcast, and they've all loved it. And I just think it's hilarious.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
So why don't we just jump right into it, and you can go ahead and explain what your situation was.
Sure. Okay. So I think we've all had many situations, but this one has stuck in my mind, and I haven't really told that many people about it. Maybe it was because, I don't know, I was nervous or I didn't want to share it. I was also young. I'm in my mid-30s now, and I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. So I
didn't realize you were that young.
Yeah, I was young, and it was with my high school boyfriend, and I had just kind of gotten into backpacking. My dad's pretty outdoorsy, and we'd done a few backpacking trips together, just some quick overnighters. And my boyfriend was really into, the outdoors and backpacking as well. I mean, he was super frugal. This guy would make a cat tin, one of those cat food tins. He would make a stove out of it. We're talking super lightweight minimum. Okay. So we go on this trip. And at the time I was also one of those crazy long distance cross country runners. And I don't do this anymore. And again, I wouldn't have scheduled to do a race and then head out to the Sierras to go on a backpacking trip that weekend. Cause that's crazy, because you're hiking 6 miles in at least, or 4 miles the first night. And so I was a psycho and decided to do this race called the Wharf to Wharf in Santa Cruz, which is my hometown. And it's this beautiful race where you run from the Santa Cruz Wharf to the Capitol Wharf, and it's 6 miles. And what do you do before a race? You carb load, right? So I'm eating pastas, just eating a shit ton, okay? I'll just preface this. And I'm also going to go backpacking. So I'm I need energy, I need fuel. And the race finishes, it goes really well, really excited. And my boyfriend at the time, he comes and picks me up. And we head to the Sierras, which is 3.5, 4 hour drive to this one part. And we head out on the trail, And again, I'm kind of a naive backpacker, like definitely overpacked. And we get to this beautiful spot about 6 miles in, which is like pretty much like, you're nearing on sunset at that time. And as we get to our spot, which was beautiful at this beautiful lake, there's like this little island in the middle, and we like took off our clothes and swam naked, and we saw a bear, and it was just like, oh, it was so cool. Like just such a beautiful Sierra Nevada experience. But because we saw this bear, we were like, oh shit, we had better string up our food, which we did. And we also, I think, had a bear canister, which is one of those, for people who don't know, they're these like bear proof, really hard to open, kind of like 2-year-old proof, where you stick all your food inside and you have to like take it so many yards away from your site. And so we like made a nice dinner and we fell asleep. And in the middle of the night, nature calls. And I'm like, oh shit, because he had told me, again, being this like frugal, ultralight backpacker, that he had brought a trowel. And I don't know if people know what a trowel is, but it's basically the shovel that is intended to bury your shit when you're backpacking. And that's like a really good thing, right? Because you don't want your feces mixing with the environment, and it's supposed to be like 6 inches or like a foot down or some depth. But because it's the middle of the night, and I didn't want to wake him to ask him where this goddamn trowel was, and I was like, nature is calling now. There's no time. So I like head out with my headlamp, and I just find somewhere behind a tree, and I do my business, and I go back to bed. And the next morning, we wake up, I'm feeling way better, so much lighter, and we make breakfast, and we start to like pack up and like go out for a walk that day. And he's like, just 1 second, I need to go to the bathroom himself. And I was like, oh shit, because he starts to head in the direction. And I couldn't remember which tree it was because it was like, 2 a.m. And he heads out, and all of a sudden he's like, oh my God. And I was like, what's wrong? Oh my God, a bear came really close to our camp. There's a huge bear shit. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, no, this shit is huge. I was like, are you sure? He's like, it's too big to be a human shit. way too big. And I couldn't do anything. I was too embarrassed because it was like kind of like a newish relationship. And I couldn't be like, dude, that was me. I mean, it was insane. Like, it's one of those like huge snake ones. That's just like, it's like basically looks like your entire intestines like have come out and like remolded in shit form. And that was probably one of the biggest shits of my life. And to this day, I think he believes that it was a bear, and we're just going to let him think that because
you never corrected him.
I never corrected him. You're the only person, and now whoever is listening to this who knows about this story.
I mean, it could just be wild. He could be like, oh my goodness, Moira, it's funny. I had a similar story. Like, hopefully he doesn't make the connection, but now
he still believes it's the bear.
Will.
So he was like, can you believe this chick?
But also, like, do you know what bear poop looks like? Like, also, I was almost flattered. Like, yeah, that's right.
That was me. You're welcome.
Not to get too graphic, but there was like you're eating a lot of like power bars. So there was also lots of nuts and seeds. So the consistency could have been misleading.
Like bears with the roots and the berries and stuff. I don't actually know how to identify bear shit. Do you? Or Kristen, do you?
No, but a part of me is also like, this guy sounds pretty hardcore in terms of nature and backpacking, or like, am I correct on that? Or just the fact that he's frugal means that he just is,
yeah, both things. But also, like, I didn't want to tell him because he would have been like dismayed that I didn't properly bury it, right? That's like pack your trash. It's like, dig your poo, bury your poo.
I'm kind of surprised, like, because you said that it was in that like long snake, like intestine form. I almost feel like a bear's, even if like the fact that it was such an impressive pile makes me so happy that happened. But I feel like a bear's shit would be like thicker almost. You know what I mean? Like, even if it was that long snake, I feel like the diameter would just be bigger.
It is. I think it's way girthier and more of these like big piles. So yeah, yeah.
The fact that he thought
he clearly isn't that much of an outdoorsman.
Oh my God, I just like that. Makes me so happy that this poop was so big. So you left after your race. You basically left the same day. Like you ran that race in the morning. He picked you up and the same day you
exactly.
hiked in.
So it was like, yeah, your body is like your metabolism is going.
Well, that too, because races in general, like your metabolism's going and the running itself, doesn't it like churn stuff to make like it makes you need to poop? Like that is a thing, right?
Oh, totally. 100%. Like and then you go to the high elevation and then where you need to drink a lot of water. So often you're like a little bit constipated, for the first bit. So it just all added up to be this perfect, well-timed moment for my bowels.
A truly perfect poop. If I were to like give an award, I want to give you the gold ribbon. Like incredible. I wish I was there to see it, honestly.
It was outstanding, if I do say so myself. It was also hilarious because had we not seen this bear, like it was fortunate. This bear had my back. Yeah. He was like, I'm going to do a little appearance. I'm going to mislead him.
Universe was on your side. The universe knew.
It was.
How long was this hiking trip?
I think it was like 2 nights. Not very long.
Did you end up having to ask him for the shovel the next night?
I think I learned how to use it.
After that,
you know what? I think my intestines are probably pretty good. Again, this was years ago, so I'm going back down my memory lane, but I've never told this story publicly because Jess, you were conceiving of this podcast and I was like, I have a shit story for you.
And that's the funniest part. I think I said it in the pilot, like everyone does. Everyone does.
Oh, of course.
But talking about the wilderness, so Kristen and I both are backpackers. We go hiking. She was just camping this weekend.
Oh, awesome.
Our dad was a pretty hardcore, he still is an outdoor enthusiast, so he taught us how to go backpacking and stuff. I don't think I've ever pooped in the woods. Even in an outhouse.
I haven't either. It's always been like I've done like the latrine, like when you get up.
I don't think I've pooped in the latrine.
An example. You get halfway up and they have those like composting toilets. Like I've done that. Like I've always been pretty regular when it comes to pooping, but I don't think I've had to like poop
shocking.
on the side of the road.
Yeah, and you know what too, because he obviously taught us, and for listeners, for you guys who don't know, there are rules to pooping in the woods. There is, let me pull up my show notes.
Don't follow my lead.
And you know what? It happens. Like you said, you were 16. I will give you the grace.
I would never. Now I have like my own trowel. It's on me. I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah. A trowel is like a little garden shovel, something light enough that you can the rule is if you're going to poop in the woods, you need to be 200 feet away from your campsite or water, so pond or stream, whatever. And then you have to dig what's called a cat hole, and it has to be 4 inches wide and 6 to 8 inches deep. And then you poop in that, and then you're supposed to bury it and then be on your way. So our dad taught us this, but I've never done it. Like I really remember
to implement it.
Yeah, I remember taking a friend hiking for his first time backpacking, and he went and did it. And I also don't even think I have the sensation to poop. I think my body's just like, we're not doing this weekend.
I'm like that when it comes to the water. Like I cannot aqua dump to save my life. My body is like, we don't have to go anymore. You're fine. I actually have a funny story. I don't know if I should tell it here or if we should save it for something else, but
aqua turds. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like I've tried. I actually really tried. Okay, so I'll tell the story just because we're getting into this. I went to Nicaragua and it was a surf trip and I was the only girl with 3 other guys. So it's just me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to hang with the guys on this trip. Luckily, they were all my pretty good friends. But you were mixed up where it was like 2 groups. So our group had we were by the ocean, but there was one house that was further up the road, and then there was one house by the ocean. There was 4 guys in the house by the ocean. We didn't actually know them, I don't think, at the time. One of the guys, I think we met them on this trip, and now actually to this day, some of the guys from that original trip actually will take trips together. So basically, one group would go just in the trucks, and they'd drive you to different surf spots, and then the next day, they would be in the boat. So you alternated between which one you were in. So the first day, I'm pretty sure we went out, and we were in the truck. So it was like you wake up early, you have like a quick breakfast, like cereal or something fast. They take you out, you surf for a couple hours, you come back. You have a second breakfast, like pancakes and scrambled eggs or whatever. You kind of rest a little bit. Then they take you out again. Then you come back, you have lunch. Like you go out 3 or 4 times and you eat throughout the day. It was super fun.
Sounds epic.
I didn't catch many waves, just so you know.
Are you a big surfer? I mean, you live on Hawaii, so.
No, no. I haven't surfed in years, honestly. I used to surf a lot more. And then I had a moment that scared the shit out of me.
That's fair.
Not literally, but
unintended.
Just scared the crap out of me.
Intended.
So I really haven't surfed in a long time, but I just like vacations and going on trips, and I get severe FOMO. So my friends were like, at the time I was surfing a lot more, and they're like, you should come. So I was like, okay. It was like my first trip, again, first surf trip with all guys and just me.
That's badass.
Like even the other group didn't have any girls. So I think only the girl that was there was the one girl who was one of the owners. It was like her and her husband that owned this place. So anyways, short story, very long. We went out the next day on the boat, but when you're on the boat, you get up super early, you maybe have like something quick to eat, and then you're just on the boat all day. Like you don't come back until like 5.
And there's not like paddling to shore at some of these breaks.
I mean, you can, certain breaks, yes, you can.
But where do you go? You're like, you go to the beach and it's like a beach and everyone can see you because they're literally facing the beach.
Yeah.
Well, in some of the spots there wasn't, luckily. Like you kind of take you out but one of the reasons they take you on the truck is because they're spots that are a little bit inaccessible by a car. So it's just like a little bit better, or you have to paddle further out and they're just better spots further from the shore. But we're all on this boat. It's the 3 guys, me and our guide, who's also a guy, and they bring lunch. So it's like burritos or whatever. And they have beer, like as much beer as you want. So essentially you're just drinking beer all day and eating food that doesn't really have any vegetables in it. So not a lot of fiber. So I get to this point where my stomach, it's like late in the day and my stomach hurts so bad. Like I have to take a shit so bad. And I'm like, guys, like, I was like, my stomach, it hurt so bad that I was like, I don't know what to do about this. Like, I have to deal with this. I have to take a shit. And they were like, well, just go over the side of the boat. And I was like, kind of, obviously, I'm like, I don't want to shit over the side of the boat. You're all here. Like, I was getting super nervous about it. I was like embarrassed. They were like, well, we'll just go surf, like, and you just hang off the side of the boat. And I was still not convinced. And they're like, well, then just paddle to shore. They're like giving me all of these solutions, and I would not take any of them. But the paddling to shore, my stomach hurt so bad that I couldn't even like lay on a surfboard to get myself to shore. Like it was just to the point where it was so bad. So then I was like, okay, well, I have to take care of it. So this is what I'm going to do. So the guys, they went out surfing. My guide was still on the boat. So he just was like, I'll just turn my back. And I'm literally hanging off the side of the boat and I'm trying so hard to shit. And I cannot. Like my body just shuts down. It's like, we're not doing this here. It's kind of funny because it's almost hard for me to pee too. Like I have to concentrate really hard to even pee in the ocean. And I don't know why that is. But pooping was not an option for me. Like it just wasn't going to happen. So then I have to wait it out for like another hour and a half until we finally get back to shore. We basically drive up to the house and I beeline it straight to the bathroom. But I don't know if this happens to you guys, but if I wait even like 15, 20 minutes past when my body wants to poop, I basically get constipated.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I still have to go and I'm still uncomfortable and it hurts, but nothing wants to come out. So I was like on the toilet for who knows how long. I finally come out. I don't even remember. They might have given the slow clap. And then after that, everyone basically learned from my experience. And every morning we were all like chugging cups of coffee to make sure we took a shit before we left. Because no one wanted to end up in that situation.
No.
It wasn't super fun.
Painful.
Yeah, it was not fun. And of course, again, there's one bathroom, so it's just the smell. You just gotta, everything. It's just like, it's all happening. None of it's good. So that was one of my situations, but I don't even remember why I started to tell you that story.
I think it was just pooping in the wilderness. It was because you can't poop in the woods. Like you and I just don't poop in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
I think you can't poop near water. Like, no That's way. Why. And you're like, I've had to poop in. I've been surfing in Santa Cruz and like I've had guy friends that like will take aqua turds and you're just like, cool.
Just watching it float by.
It's so different. But it's so different for a chick because typically if you're like in your warm water like places, it's easier, right? You just have like your bikini bottom or like in a one piece, okay, whatever, you're topless for a couple minutes. But like in cold water, you're in a wetsuit. So it's this like whole freaking ordeal to take an aqua turd. It's hard.
And so actually a lot of people that Moira and I have worked with have shared aqua turd stories. because it's Hawaii, it's a lot of island work. And we've talked about before, me and them, that like I would love to do an AquaTurd episode where we just get like this collection of everyone's AquaTurd stories. I think that would be phenomenal because they've told me some on a couple of the projects. I've heard a couple of them, and they're just some of them are accidental and horrific. Some of them are just like, yeah, I had to go and I hung off the back of the boat, like you said. Um, but I didn't even know it was a thing until this project.
Oh yeah, you should do a whole AquaTurd episode.
Yeah.
Or like a season.
Yeah.
There's even a system, like everyone has their own system for pooping in the water too.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, I mean, when you poop, it floats. So you gotta like figure out how to do it. You gotta make sure like the current's going in the right direction.
I didn't even think of
You need to
that.
make sure your shorts or your bathing suit's off enough. And then some people like dive down to the bottom and try to shit and it floats and then they try to avoid it. Some people like try to swim away from it as they're pooping.
Could you imagine swimming back up and hitting it? Like,
No.
So gross. But at least you're in water. At least you can like clean yourself.
that's true. You just kind of like zhuzh it off and do like a bioplume, like a whale.
Oh my God, I have another one. Now we're talking about, I'm like, my brain is firing. Okay, Moira, I have a question for you though. So you were a runner.
Yes.
You said you did long distance.
Yes.
And like you said, you have to eat you have to carb load. So before every race, I'm sure you're doing this level of eating.
Right.
You never had a situation during a race? Because isn't that kind of a common thing? I've heard of people that are.
Oh yeah. This was like, I don't know if my body just like with all of maybe the adrenaline like locked it up for this race. And then like we got in the car and then we were in elevation. Like, when you're on a plane or you travel for a couple of days, like sometimes I've gone to like Europe and I haven't been able to go. But I have been on many runs where I get the runs. Like I shit my pants. Like
You have shit your pants while running.
Oh, 100%. I like once went on this really long run. Like, God, it would have been like, I was doing a marathon at the time. And so it was it was early in the training days, which was like 10 miles or something. And I was in the woods and I could have just gone, but with like leaves and things is, you'd make do with what you have around you. But I think I had like exited the woods at this point and I was exactly a mile from my house. And I was in leggings too. So, which was like a good and bad thing because if you're in shorts, I actually have a couple fucking situations for you. Okay.
Keep them coming. Let's go.
Okay. I was in the UK and I had moved in with this woman I had met while backpacking. Travel backpacking, literal backpacking, but also like gallivanting backpacking in South America. And she was French and for some reason she was living in London because she had a job there or whatever. And she knew that I needed a place and she's like, yeah, come stay with me. I was like, awesome. And she was super cool and she liked to go running. And at the time I was also a vegetarian. And this was years ago. And I was in college studying abroad and I was eating a lot of lentils. And I didn't realize this actually until like maybe a year ago, but lentils are really, really hard to digest. And they can be, and they can actually give you stomach pain because it's just so much fiber. And I kept getting tons of stomach pain, but I was also like running a bunch and training for things. And she was really into running too. So we went on this long run. And I was in those shorts, they have like the built-in little like under kind of garments. Like it's not quite granny panties, but it kind of feels like it. And we were on this run. And again, I know her, but like not super well and had just moved in. And we go on this run and I had lentils the day before. And I just completely like shit my pants. Like we can't find a bathroom anywhere. We're like in this like British like moor, like just like running in this like open landscape. There's like a park bathroom and of course it was closed. And I was like, God fucking damn it. And I was like, I think we need to turn around. And there was like, it just happened. And I didn't tell her. Like God, like this is like so revealing of me. I'm such a people pleaser. I can't just be like, yo, I shit my pants. Like I need to go. But it was bad. And we keep running. And I like just kind of tell her like, oh, maybe let's go back. And she's training for this race, so she like wants to go the like full distance. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, what's that smell? Did you step in something? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, maybe I did. And I kept like looking at the bottom of my shoes, which were completely clean. And she's like, no, I think you stepped in dog shit. And she like looked at her shoes and like had nothing in mine. And I was like, maybe. And then we just kept running and she's like, the smell is still there. Like, what is this smell? And as soon as we get back to her place, I'm just like, I'm just going to take a shower. I'm just like super stinky. And I like washed my shorts in the bathroom and it was literally just like a pile of lentils in my shorts. It was so gross.
Oh my God.
So she didn't figure it out at all.
I think she did. I think she realized by like the fifth inquiry of,
did you step in something?
Did you step in dog shit? Like literally, I just had shit in my pants.
Oh my God.
It happens when you're running.
God. And she's like, we were just looking for a bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, you were actively running. It came out, or were you standing still?
Actively running. Just it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just like, your system's just like, I'm not listening to you. It's so weird. It's the opposite of constipation. You can't tell it to go back in and hold itself.
Oh my God, you poor thing.
Okay, let's talk. Can we also talk consistency? Like, was it?
Did you chew the lentils?
Runny?
It was runny.
Mushy?
It was runny.
Was it like a solid poop?
No, it was the consistency of the lentils of which I ate.
Did you just walk into the shower wearing the clothes and just like...
Exactly. Completely. And then I washed all of my clothes so it looked like I was just doing laundry, not just the shorts. Mm-hmm. Really, really strategic here, trying to put her off the trees.
So how, from when it happened, from when you shat your pants, how many more miles until you got back to the house?
Oh my God, I think it was like 4. It was like a solid 40 minutes of just like whiffing, terrible, terrible pungent smells.
Okay, so aside from the smell, this might be TMI, but what did that feel like? Having to run with a load in your pants?
Not great. Just like immense shame and like...
Did it bring back any reminiscence of childhood? Like this, it's like the diaper. I'm shocking myself back to when I was a toddler.
It just made me think of like the concept of a diaper is so weird. Where like little kids, like you just like, it's so uncomfortable. You're just sitting in your shit. Like that's disgusting. Like, why do we do this to humans? I don't know. But yeah.
But then a lot of them hate getting their diaper changed.
Exactly.
It's like they could have a massive shit in there and they just want to sit in it. They're like, no, I don't want my diaper being changed.
Well, I hate to say this, but you kind of acclimate. You
Noted. But this is wild though, right? Because it is a thing, like I have heard that it does happen with runners, marathoners. And we have a family member who used to do marathons and apparently and I've heard this from other people, they drop their shorts on someone's front lawn, take a dump, and just keep going. And I have heard others who know, like, because they want the time for the marathon, they're going to choose to shit their pants and keep going, and they like don't care.
That's just another level of dedication that I do not understand. I'm sorry, I don't care enough. I don't care if I'm going to lose 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 on my race time. I'm not shitting my pants. And if I do shit my pants, the dedication to keep going just baffles me. I will say that I have a friend. I'm not going to say who it is because it might come up later. But let's just say he finished a race without a sock. Wiping purposes, Jess. Wiping purposes.
Thank you.
You were like, I don't get how this relates.
I'm like trying to picture it. And speaking of wiping, but going back to the woods, pooping in the woods, if you're backpacking, my boyfriend is adamant about this. And I made a point to write it down. If you are pooping in the woods, and it has to be at the time of year where there are leaves, striped maple specifically. The striped maple tree is apparently the perfect leaf for wiping.
I'm writing this down as well.
He is so passionate about this. I was going to invite him in to tell us himself, but he's occupied right now.
Can we talk about why? Like,
I think just because it's soft and it's
and a large watt, because maple leaves are quite large.
Yeah,
right?
It's a good size leaf. It's soft. I don't know if it has a soothing quality.
Well, also but he's an East Coaster.
Yes, this is a New York Adirondacks.
Right.
Okay, guys, here we go.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, I can see that.
It's wide. It basically fits your whole hand.
It's a little bit like
You're not getting any shit on that.
But you want to be careful that it if you're going to pick a leaf to wipe with, and this is something that is encouraged. If you actually, REI has like a whole article on like taking care of yourself in the woods and hygiene, and they do encourage you to use leaves, but like be careful, everyone, that you're not going to pick a poison something or other. So like make sure you know your leaves and your trees.
And just like wish these are around you, because else, like I've like sometimes grasped for grass, and it's just
I know
it doesn't do the job.
See, I think I don't. If I was gonna poop in the woods, I think I would just go with the skid mark in the underwear. I would just let it have. Like I don't need to wipe.
Wow, yes, I'm gonna take your testament down.
We're gonna do that, and but. Yeah, no, we were just hiking this weekend, and of course it's winter.
And you elected the skid mark.
I would elect. I haven't, like I said, I haven't pooped in the woods, so I haven't been presented the opportunity, but I feel like I would elect to skid mark because I don't trust myself in picking the right leaf and not ending up with a giant rash on my asshole.
Or go commando. You're using the underwear to wipe, and then we just go without.
There you go.
We just bury them in the hole with the shit and forget they ever existed.
Yeah. Or a sock. You hike without a sock. You know, some layer of clothing is gonna disappear.
Yeah, that's doable. My dad's best friend is from Iowa, and he moved out to California when my dad moved out, and they went camping, and guess which frickin' leaf he used to wipe?
Poison ivy.
Yeah, poison oak.
Oh no.
Which is like, I don't know, because I've never had poison ivy, but growing up in California, poison oak is like everywhere. It's a super shiny, it's what's the saying? Leaves of three, let them be.
Yeah, poison ivy is similar.
It's not good.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you right now, it's not good.
Not good.
And if you wipe with it, so it's like basically creates these like liquid filled blisters, and the way that it spreads is like if you itch or it rubs on something, those oils like spread, so it can spread very easily. And if you wipe with it and that constant friction of your undercarriage and your butt cheeks is rubbing around, like that's going to spread real fast. And to have to get in all those crevices to like coat them.
Oh, so uncomfortable.
That's bad. That's
really so uncomfortable.
Kristen, look up striped maple bark. So we were hiking this past weekend and Jack grabbed it and he was like, striped maple, look, this is it, striped maple.
Save yourself.
So you can see this is why it's called striped maple, is because the bark has these vertical stripes on it. Again, if you're going to do this, make sure that you are practiced and know your plant identification. But like, yeah, that's how you identify striped maple. And he was like, this is it. This is the one you're looking for. He was shaking the tree. Of course, it's winter. There's no leaves, but now I know what it looks like.
That's so funny.
But what's funny is, too, just the types. So going back to just hiking in the woods and camping and pooping, I feel like a lot of us, and the more popular trails there are toilets in the woods if people are interested in hiking, right? There's the like outhouse systems. And if anyone goes to like trail huts, have either of you, well, Kristen, I know you have, but have you ever been hiking on the Appalachian Trail at all, or in any of the Appalachians?
No, I've never been to the Appalachian Trail. I'm not familiar.
I don't know if the Sierras have something similar, but like we have like a hut system where you can like camp in like these bunk huts that are multiple miles into the mountains.
Not really. Not like the Sierras is pretty like wild, and I mean, not that saying that the Appalachian isn't, but it's definitely no, like very few of them. Some parts of the Sierra, I shouldn't, that's like a blanket statement. Some parts will have huts, but if you're doing like really serious backpacking where you're going on like an 8-day trip, no, the outhouse will be at the trailhead you start, and the outhouse will be there at the trailhead that you finish at, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, so there's huts and there's lean-tos. And Kristen is showing pictures right now of lean-tos.
These are kind of like makeshift ones, but like they're more like this kind of. So it's just like a...
Ooh, that's good to know.
We'll share pictures of this on our Instagram, but like you put your tent on that platform and then you're kind of protected. Or like your sleeping bag. You don't even need a tent. You can put your sleeping bag right on that.
Oh, that's so cool. I wish we had that.
And so what's fun is, at least in the Adirondacks and the Appalachians, they're really good at trying to keep some kind of outhouse near these places. And so there's one, it's not an outhouse, it's a pit toilet, which is basically an outhouse is a latrine or a pit toilet that you just put a little, right, wooden house around it. This is, Jack and I went for a New Year's overnight hike in the mountains. It is literally just a box. Like it's a pit dug into the ground with like a 2x2x2 box put over it with a toilet seat on the box. So you go and it's a good distance away from the campsite, but you're just sitting in the woods, like full panoramic views of everything and everyone with your pants down on this box in the middle of the trees.
Like this?
Yep, that's what it looks like.
No way. That is fucking hilarious.
And so like in the winter, right, there's no leaves, so like you're good distance from the trail, but like if anyone was really coming through the trail, they would just see your shining ass just like sitting there.
Hey guys, happy trails, carry on.
Is that like, have you ever been in that where you want to let someone know that you're somewhere, but you don't want them to walk in on you, so you start making like weird noises, or you're just like a little extra loud? You're just like,
turn on the
so they
faucet.
don't actually walk up on you. Yeah, you're like, rustling some branches, or like, I don't know, just starting to make some extra noises so that people don't actually walk up on you.
I mean, in the summertime, it's probably fine, right? Because all the leaves fill in and then you can't really see through them. But like I said, we did this in the middle of the winter. So it's just like, I can see everything.
I mean, sometimes it just happens. Like, even if you like ask friends and you're hiking, you're just like, hey, tell me if anyone's coming. And then you start taking a shit on the trail, just on a hike, a day hike. And they're like coming and you're like,
too late. We're here now. You can't cut it off.
Just pause them, distract them, anything, strike up a conversation.
Yeah, send them somewhere else, please. But yeah, so that is one of the types of toilets. But we actually do have, like, the Appalachian Mountain Club has huts that you can go to. There's a caretaker, there's a kitchen, and big giant like picnic tables, and they have bunk beds. Kristen, look up like Lonesome Lake.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
They're really good, and you do have to pay to stay in them because there's a caretaker and you get to use the facilities.
Sure.
They don't have any heat.
Yeah, I've done some hut trips before, but mostly like backcountry skiing. Not on like a day hike. That looks amazing.
Yeah.
So through hikers come through all the time. You can pay for like a little lunch, or you can bring your own stuff and cook with the facilities they have there. And they actually have some really nice toilet setups. But those are composting toilets, right? So the idea is like it's a pit, but the compost, you're basically expected to, they have like a bucket of wood chips or like sawdust next to the toilet. So when you poop, you then take a scoop full of sawdust and you throw it into the pit, into the toilet.
And the aroma kind of is a little bit.
It's for aroma. It helps the bacteria. Like,
there's your little bucket. She's just hanging out there. It says The Hobbit.
That's so smart. Why isn't there sawdust at every outhouse?
Well, so it depends on the system. So this is like I said, this is a composting toilet. Most people, the outhouses they find on the trail are just latrines. So it's just a hole, and when the hole gets filled, they're going to bury it and go dig a new one. But this, it like has to be actively managed. And so it's wild. Not all of the huts are like this, but they usually have, if it's composting, they have a section where it gets the compost degrades, and then it has to be taken out. So it stays in the same place, and that pit has to be emptied. So they take the composted material and it has to be hiked out or flown out via helicopter.
Imagine signing up for that job.
Can you just imagine being like, hey, Dad, good morning. After some pancakes, you want to go do that thing?
You want to go empty those trees? And it is like people pick this job. Like that is, yep.
Does Mike Rowe still do that show, Dirty Jobs?
I don't know if he does, but I'm sure this would be one of them.
Oh, that would be definitely a contender.
Oh, God. It's not even your poop. It's other people's poop.
Right, it's everyone else's. It's all of these random ass people who come through the set area. One of them, there's like a bunch of different ways and styles that they do this. One of them is you have to dry it. So not only do they have to take out the composting material, but they then have to like put it on like a wooden frame and let it like dry and cure in the sun. And then they fill barrels and they hike it out. Like they have to shovel it into barrels.
This is wild.
Like I did not know that. I thought it just stayed there. I had no idea. But also, like I've been thinking, like going back to like why you should bury your poo. Like I've also been up on hikes, like some serious mountaineering, like up Kilimanjaro, or just even like a beautiful hike in Big Sur in Central California. And like there's toilet paper and shit everywhere. And like that's disgusting. Like that's like it ruins a place. So like going back to my 16-year-old self, like should have just buried the thing.
Yeah.
Because like let's keep it clean. I'm a big contender for that because it can just that's nasty.
Well, yeah, and I mean, right there again, if you're ever interested, if for people who have never been hiking and stuff, there are the rules of like leave no trace. And the whole idea is that you're supposed to keep the wilderness in the place in the way it was before you arrived, and it should look like you were never there. So that does include hiking out your trash, hiking out your poop. Women, like I have gotten
Toilet paper.
Yeah, I have gotten my period on the trail on a backpacking trip.
The worst.
And same thing, you gotta just like find a corner and then you just got Ziplocs on Ziplocs that you're just like, you gotta put everything in the Ziploc because you can't throw that into the compost latrine. So I have a Facebook post from Glacier National Park. Sometimes the job of a park ranger includes poop duty. At the end of each summer, crews pack out barrels of human waste from Sperry and Granite Park chalets via helicopter. Our science and research friends at the U.S. Geological Survey join on the operation, maintain weather stations near these locations in order to collect meteorological data for avalanche and forecasting purposes. So it's an interagency effort with park fire crews leading safe flight operations. Removing human waste may not be the most glamorous aspect of park ranger, but you can tell from the smiling faces in this photo that we love our jobs.
I was going to say they're smiling, like hardcore smiling. They look so happy.
Yeah, they look really proud. I have this like arm resting.
These 4 barrels, these are giant barrels that are filled with shit.
Imagine one of those things opening.
I love that there's 905 like, oh my God, emojis.
Yeah. And we got a comment here from someone who's done it before. He goes, the first time we flew it out, we had to open up the container that had collected the waste. It was an 8x8 by 6 foot, if memory serves me correctly. And then the fun began as we reached in with garden hose to pull out the nastiness and use our grain shovels to scoop it into 50-gallon drums. And then we had to fly them up. We filled 8 barrels, flew them out to the sewage treatment plant in West Glacier. There were 5 of us doing this as an all-day affair, not the least of which was our boss, who said I wouldn't have any of my guys do anything I wouldn't do. Best boss ever. We wore blue disposable coveralls and full face shields. It took all day. It was a day full of humor and good laughs, and mostly about the fact that we're actually shoveling shit. I asked for hazard pay, but we never got it. Not my worst job ever. Krispy Kreme Donuts takes that award.
Oh.
Oh God. But like, yeah, this is, if someone wants to become a park ranger, like that is part of the job.
This is wild. So I wonder, because they say they fly it out. So is it a helicopter or is it a plane? If it's a helicopter, I'm assuming it's not on the physical helicopter. It's probably
it's probably
below.
dangling.
You'd imagine if that opened, like it just somehow wasn't secure.
Something and just
God, just poo spray.
It was raining. Just absolutely. The good news is when it gets to the point that it's being shoveled out, it's more like, if I understand correctly, composted matter. So it's less shit-like and more organic matter-like. But
so it's not lentils in the underwear. It's more dirt style.
It's non-recognizable.
So
actually, this just reminded me too of hooping in the wilderness. I did a study abroad trip to Belize, and we got to go to a NOAA site, which was on a very tiny island, like an island that you could cross in like a minute. It was super small.
Oh, wow.
Their toilet was the dock. It was the end of the dock. At the very end, there was an outhouse, and there was a toilet seat that just dropped into the ocean. Like it goes right into the water. And I'm sure there's science as to like how much you poop and like what it does to the ocean. But yeah, it just bloop right in.
Yeah.
That's wild. Well, we have a friend actually that has gone to the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, and again, super small, not very big, maybe like a mile across. And it was basically just a toilet on top of a box, but it was like a bucket. So, but there's nothing around you.
Like a toilet seat, not even a whole toilet, just the seat.
Yes. So kind of like what you were talking about, Jess, with the being in the winter and anybody could see you. I mean, granted, you're only on the island with like maybe 3 or 4 other people, so they probably know you're going to the bathroom. But she did say it was one of the prettiest views she's ever had while pooping, because you're just looking out over the ocean and this island that doesn't really have any foliage higher than a bush. And you're just dropping trow and taking a shit where everyone can see you.
What's that? Isn't there like a calendar? It's like, or like it's some like photo contest where dogs taking the most panoramic shit, and it's just these dogs. Like, have you heard of this?
No, but I want to
people
see it.
like it's like a contest of like whose dog's taking like disrupting a pristine place and like the most gorgeous setting. It's fucking hilarious. These dogs are like on a glacier, just like awkwardly like taking a shit and staring at their own.
I want to see if I can
It's
find
so
this.
fucking funny.
Oh my God. If you come across them, can you share them with us?
Yes, I will.
Oh man.
That's so funny.
So for people pooping in the woods, and have you guys ever heard of a wag bag?
No.
Yes. My sister's a rock climber, and I have learned about this process before.
Has your sister had to use it?
Yes. You should interview her next.
Amazing. Please give her our information. So Kristen, a wag bag is basically it's like a glorified Ziploc that you can take you can poop in the bag, and then you camp it out with you.
Why are they called wag bags?
I think it stands for something.
I was gonna say, it makes me sound like a dog,
Like waste something. But yeah, like a lot of people who are rock climbing, and because you're like on the wall for so many nights or days, like when you're doing like big wall.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Because like you can't just like, you're with a crew. I mean, you could. It's like kind of like peeing over the side of a boat. And you're just like hanging off the wall. Like,
could you imagine walking under that cliff and a turd just like,
oh God,
is that a bird?
Oh my God.
That's wild. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So you have to, I don't know how you do it though, because you're like in this harness suspended and then trying to hold this thing and shit into it with accuracy. And then you have to keep it for like days until you finish your route and come back down. I don't know if you light it on fire. I have no idea.
I don't think you light it on fire. I don't think that.
Yeah, now that
although maybe if you're desperate for a fire, that might be a good fuel source. But no, so WAG, I just looked it up. It stands for Waste Alleviation and Gelling Bag. So it's got like, I think it's the equivalent of like the stuff in diapers is in this bag, so that when you poop in it and you pee, it like solidifies. It's not mushy.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, so then it just turns into like a package. And I had read an article where someone called it like a mutant strength double lined plastic bag with mutant strength closures. Inside is a gel or powder. It neutralizes the waste, and then you carry it out with you and then throw it away in a dumpster.
So this is like another option, I guess, if you're backpacking. I mean, and you're like really leave no trace, is you could use a wag bag. It seems extreme because like who doesn't like to pee in nature?
Mm-hmm.
But one time, speaking of packing out toilet paper, like my friend and I had packed out our stuff. We were good. This was like recently, and we had like dug the trowels, all of it was good. And for some godforsaken reason, we're making dinner at this campfire, and she decides to add paper to the fire from her bag.
No.
So all of a sudden, and I was changing in the tent. Yes, I was changing in the tent to get onto warmer clothes. And I was like, it smells like shit. And she's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, what the fuck? And she had dumped all of her used toilet paper after like 4 nights backpacking. And she's a regular pooper. So just like, we just had this burning shit for like hours. And I was like, cool. And like, and it was cold. So you like want to stay by the, that was, and she's an experienced backpacker. I really thought better of her.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, don't use if you need paper, do not use that. Do not use that.
There's just so many things you don't even think about. I would have never thought, I would have never thought about climbers having to poop. Didn't even think about
right.
it.
Your
Would have never thought.
What do you call those
about-
things that they sleep on? The like shelf that like connects to the wall? What is
The suspended things, what are they? Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
No idea. But yeah, like back to what Moira said too, like how does that logistically even work when you have a harness on because it's over your pants? It's like around your waist and around your legs. So it's not like you can take your
Yeah, you can't take your pants
maybe
off.
You can kind of take your pants off. Like if like the waist part's not super tight, you might be able to finagle that. But putting it back on under your harness, I feel like is not fun.
This is, I guess, like a pro for free soloing.
There is a level of extreme sport. I love outdoor sports, but I have no desire to hit certain extremes. It's not worth it to me. I don't need that life experience.
Well, but you would have to think about that free soloing. You'd have to be like on your poop schedule. Like I can't start my free solo. Like Alex Honnold must have really shat that morning.
Yeah. And imagine his shits, because that takes a lot of energy too. So he's probably also carb loading. And I'm one of those that if I get nervous, I gotta poop. Like, it's like my bowels are like on overdrive because like, I don't know what, like the adrenaline and nerves and all that stuff. I'm like, I gotta go and I gotta go now. So imagine being up there and having to take a shit halfway through. Like your body's like, oh, we had a little bit left and now you're freaking out and it's just gotta happen. Like, I'm sure they just shit themselves if there's no ropes. Because you're not going to, like, risk pulling your pants down to take a shit up there.
No way.
I feel like this would fall into the same category as backpacking. Because, like I said, I don't poop backpacking. So I have a feeling if I were free soloing, I probably just wouldn't poop. My body would just be like, we'll be constipated in 2 days, but we're not pooping today. Like, it's not happening.
I have a question for you guys. I guess this is kind of a little bit of a Moira question, too. Because you said it was, like, one of those long, long snake poops. So sometimes when I poop, it's like very quick. Like you go, I'm like, okay, I'm done. And naturally I look in the toilet just to see what happened, you know, like what was
everyone
like?
It's like smelling your own farts. You want to know.
Yeah, I just want to know. I just want to see, just want to feel like whatever. But sometimes they feel like they're so fast, like so clean. It does. And then I look in the toilet. I'm like, I don't understand how that much poop came out of me in that short of a time period. Do you know what I mean? Where like you're shocked at how much poop is left behind because it was actually a very quick process, and you're
it's
just
the
like
perfect amount of fiber. It just
was it like that for you? Like, was it very quick, like just squat and go, and then the next morning you're like, oh my god, I didn't realize that it was that much, or did you know it was that much?
I knew it was a lot, but I had no idea it was that much. And then like sometimes they're so good you don't have to wipe. Like that sounds really TMI, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
where it's
exactly
just like really clean and you're just like, this is amazing. Thank you, God.
And then you have the other ones that just never stop. You're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It's like the people that pour the soap. Have you seen that joke where they pour someone's like showering and they keep pouring shampoo on their head and they start freaking out because they can't get the lather to go away? It's like that. You just keep wiping and it's never going away. You're like, what's happening?
Scene from Parks and Rec. Have you guys seen that scene from Parks and Rec with Chris Pratt? Blah. The scene from Parks and Rec with Chris Pratt. He goes to the doctor for his physical and he's just saying this random stuff and he's like, it's like a marker. Like I wipe and I wipe and I wipe and it's still there's still stuff there.
Yeah. That's fucking hilarious. Oh my god, I need to find that episode.
But see, this is also why, hold on. How do you know that you don't have to wipe without wiping?
You don't. Who doesn't wipe?
Well, so this is my...
I wipe, but like it's like you do it once and you're like, that was pretty clean. Like I passed.
You check, right? You check the toilet paper? Yeah, you check the toilet paper.
Yeah, or you check...
Are we talking about people that can't see?
Well, no. So this is going back to the whole, like, me choosing the skid mark over trying to wipe with something. So you would have to wipe with something to see if you needed to wipe or not, right? So did you wipe with a leaf or did you have like toilet paper with you or?
Oh, I'm sure I had a leaf. I'm sure I like found some pine needles or something. I don't remember what it was, but sometimes you can just feel it, you know, you're like, this is a good one.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have that skill.
No, it's like when it's like that solid, you're good.
Yeah, so I'm surprised sometimes.
I'm gonna have to like think about this. next time I poop. I mean, it's the holidays right now, so like nothing's coming out solid and clean, but
Truth. True.
but yeah, I'm just thinking about it like if it is a perfect poop and I choose not to wipe and I'm just the gods have smiled upon me and there is no skid mark, but like yeah, now I have to think about it. Can I recognize without wiping if it's the perfect poop? I'm gonna start texting you, Kristen, and we're gonna do like a betting thing. And I'm gonna go poop and I'm gonna text you the guess and then I'll wipe and see if I was right or wrong.
I have to know the consistency. We have to know like the consistency of the poop. Like I wonder, which would be like a science experiment, which poops produce like the no need to wipe or like the clean wipe poops. Like which ones don't and which ones do. I wonder if we'd be surprised by the answer. So we live in obviously Honolulu, it's a city. There's unfortunately a lot of homeless people. And a lot of times there's a lot of bowel movements happening and none of them wipe. They just drop trout, poop, and then keep on going about their, merry day. But I just think about it and I'm like, I don't even want to know how uncomfortable they must feel on a day-to-day basis when you're just constantly going to the bathroom and you don't wipe and you haven't, like, mental health's not great, so they're not showering, like, all kinds of things. And I'm like, the level of discomfort, I cannot.
That would be really hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Not fun.
No.
That's why I'm shocked by people who can finish a race when they've crapped their pants. Like, the smell alone would get me. I'm just too embarrassed. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Or just the knowledge that you probably look like you chat your pants. Like, you can
Some people have it, like, running down their leg.
And then what if you won? And then you have to go, like, on. They're like, here.
Yeah, the camera wants you. They're putting the towel over your shoulders, and you're like, stay away. Stay away.
Have you guys ever shot yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I sharted. It wasn't a big one. Mine was like, it wasn't a full shart. It was, Kristen and I have talked about this where like, I have IBS and I have weird belly pains and problems. And so I can't hold in farts. Like if I have to fart, I have to fart. I have to keep that shit moving or else it's going to really fuck up my insides. And sometimes I have to work for my farts and like do some yoga poses or really try to like squeeze it out. And I was actually on the phone with one of my best friends as I'm trying to do this. And I'm trying to squeeze out this fart. And then I like felt like, I was like, oh shit, like that wasn't a fart. It ended up being like a tiny little turd, like a little rabbit turd. It wasn't like a blowout mess, but that's my only time I've shit my pants.
Moira?
Yeah, I can't like.
We know you've shit your pants, but what about your shart situation?
I've definitely sharted. It's been, I think it was like while driving because it's going up to elevation because you get have you heard of the altitudes?
No.
Yeah. So apparently someone told me about this, but like going up in elevation, there's like more, I don't know, whatever it is in your system, less oxygen, and you get the toots like really bad. So I'm just like farting the whole way. And I think one of them was a little sharty and like that was that. But
was it also a rabbit turd?
But I didn't realize it. I didn't realize it until I like got to the place where I was going and then went to the bathroom and was like, oh my God, that's disgusting.
I've never, because I'm so scared. Like, I just assume any type of pressure. I'm like, it could be a poop. I don't know if it's a poop or not. It could be a fart. I don't know. But anytime there's any pressure, I just go to the bathroom. Like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to sit on the toilet and we'll see what happens. So I've never done it. I mean, I feel like I've come close to just shitting my pants because of like, stomach pains or just like, oh, I have to go and I have to go now. But in terms of farting, I feel like I never just let one rip because I'm never sure. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be a fart or a poop.
I am definitely quoting the altitudes as the highlight of this episode. I'm going to put a little like definition and everything.
Yeah, we need to like WebMD that.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to be in the comfort of my own home, so I just like, dry little rabbit turd, didn't even leave a mark.
That's
but
really
like,
nice. Does that qualify as, I guess you pooped.
I did. I sharted a little.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. Google AI overview comes up with Altitudes appears to be a playful, informal term or inside joke used on social media, possibly related to altitude or travel, which users reference in posts about trips, mountains, or funny moments. Oh wait, I don't even know if this is about farting though. This is something not. Hang on. I don't know if that's a real thing. Maybe we're coining this term.
Maybe you're coining this term.
Well, where did you hear it from?
I've heard this from a physical therapist. Okay. So they were a medical professional, not in anything gastro related, but they told me about the altitudes because my boyfriend was complaining about how much I was farting when we came up to Tahoe. And he's like, well, yeah, that's a thing. It's called altitudes.
That's so funny. You know what's funny too is I actually, when I fly, I get like super constipated for like a couple of days. Like I don't have normal poops. And I don't know if it's just because of the like pressurized cabin and it like compresses everything. I don't know if that's combined with like, eating crappier food. I have no idea. But it's just, I know I'm not going to be able to. And like sometimes I get pains like halfway through flying. And I think it's like kind of like that constipation, like gas kind of pain. And then, yeah, like once I land, it usually takes me like a good 2 to 3 days of like just trying to drink water to like actually have a normal poop. Like you're constipated.
Yeah, 100%.
I had food poisoning last year on a plane.
Oh.
I had gotten an airport kiosk salad, and
terrible choice.
I was looking at the burgers at like the burger restaurant. I was like, no, let me be healthy. Let me get a salad. Nope, bad choice. And it was a like 2.5 hour flight home. Luckily, home was my final like that's where I was headed. So, yeah, maybe like a half hour into the flight, I just kept marching myself back to the bathroom. And it got to the point I had gone back like 3 or 4 times. Like I'd gotten up, and luckily I was in the aisle seat, but it got to the point where I was in the bathroom. I was like, I should just spend the rest of the flight here. Cause I would like get to a point where like it would stop hurting. But then you're like, you're not sure if you're gonna throw it up or if you're gonna keep pooping out. And it's just like, you're not, you're just miserable and suffering. And I was like, I wonder how long I can sit in here before they like tell me to go back to my seat. So I just kind of like, I tried to camp out in the bathroom, but it was rough.
Oh,
yeah.
Did not shit my pants, but yeah.
That's not fun.
That's the worst.
I will say though, I would much rather have diarrhea like all day, every day than throw up.
Yeah, well, you have a bad throw up. Your whole body doesn't do it well.
It's basically like, my mom always told me it was like a dog or like an animal. Because like, you know how their whole body like heaves? Like I really do. My whole body, it comes from like my soul. Like my whole body.
The guttural
just, like,
response.
Yes, like the whole thing like just like starts heaving and trying to retch and nothing comes out until like the third or fourth retch. But it's like my whole body.
Oh.
And then finally I'll puke. And it's like that every single time I have to throw up. So I'm like, you know what? I like pray. If I don't feel good, I'm like, oh my God, please just let me shit my pants. Like I'd rather just poop because I don't. The throwing up is just, it's horrible. It's really bad.
I don't think there's a worse feeling than being nauseous. Like I don't know if I have really bad motion sickness. Like okay, like but just like being nauseous is like on the verge of throwing. Like when you throw up, it's like this release. But also when you throw up, sometimes like I don't know if this happens. I've also started in this like capacity is when you throw up, you're doing things at both ends. Mm-hmm. So does this happen to you before?
Oh yeah. You have to, it's really clutch when you're in a bathroom where the tub and the toilet are next to each other, because you can just like, you're sitting sideways on the toilet, like leaning over the tub and just like letting it all happen at once.
Oh yeah. It can be rough, especially if you're like both things are in one toilet. Like
I wanted to make this an episode, but do you guys know the comedian Jim Jeffries?
Yes.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
He's an Australian, and he does a whole bit where he accidentally gives him and his son food poisoning by trying to fry chicken. Have you heard this one?
No.
So his son's little, right? He's a little kid, and he has never had food poisoning before. And so, fried chicken gone bad. And so his son in the middle of the night it's coming out both ends, and he's suffering, and he feels so bad. And his son is just like crying. He's like, well, I guess this is me now. And he's like, oh, it's so cute. My son doesn't know this is temporary. Like, oh, the poor thing. So he finally is able to get his son to bed, and like an hour later, it happens to him. And so it's coming out both ends, and he's on the toilet suffering, and he's like, I guess this is me now.
Oh God, there are times where you question. You're like, when do I have to go to the hospital? Like, at what point am I on death's door right now? Is it happening? Like, should I go to the hospital? Like, it's really bad. I feel like I'm gonna die.
This is forever. This is going to be my state for the rest of my life. I cannot. This will not pass.
So bad.
Well, ladies, we've been talking for well over an hour. I feel like this is a great place to end. Do you have anything else you'd like to add to this episode?
Moira?
No, just thank you so much for having me. This has been so fun. I hope some of the, stories I've shared resonate with you, make you feel less alone in these moments. Everyone Poops was like one of my favorite childhood books my great aunt gave to me and my siblings. So yeah, Everyone Poops, and it's fucking funny.
I'm so glad we started with one. I only knew of one story that we started with tonight, and I am just so glad it opened up this treasure trove of all of these other excellent stories.
And that's what this podcast does, because once you're just thinking, oh, I'm going to tell this one, and then you're like, wait a second, now this is triggering. We have so many situations.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I don't have one. I'm like, I don't have one. And then I was like, oh, actually, I do have that one. And then it makes you think of something else, and then something your friend told you. And I'm like, there's so many. It's crazy.
There's so many.
And they're still happening every day.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. But this is so cool. I'm so glad that this podcast finally manifested and you guys did it.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Me too. And Moira, you are always welcome back for more stories. If you come up with more.
Thank you. I would be honored.
And anyone else out there listening, if you want to tell us your story, you can always email us at situationspodcast@gmail.com. You can go to our website contact form at www.situationspodcast.com. And you can always DM us on Instagram at situations_podcast. So we're just super excited that this is a thing, and we are happy to continue sharing stories. So thank you all so much for listening, and have an excellent rest of your day. Happy shitting.